Hello, 8th grade scholars. You guys asked for a review video, so here it is. It's not really much more than the review sheet, but let's walk through it together. That way everybody's on the same page. All right, so there's only two sections, two videos on the test. We're going to focus on the digestive system and the urinary system, or the urinary tract. Okay, so the first video, we had three big questions. What are the structures of the digestive system and their functions? What are the two types of digestion? What are the two purposes of the digestive system? So let's go back and look at that PowerPoint. Okay, so I'm going to go really quick. All right, you've already seen the video. You can go back and see um, the original video if you like, but you need to know the parts. Okay, where's my mouse? There it is. Your teeth, they're going to increase that surface area. Remember, this is related to the lab. You put one big piece in, your enzymes can only work on the surface of it. So we're going to chew and grind and tear with our teeth. So we increase that surface area. You've got salivary glands, which are going to moisten and lubricate that food. Also, you have enzymes in your saliva that break down carbs. Food goes from your mouth, through your pharynx, we learned about that last unit, through the esophagus, down to your stomach. We've got both chemical and mechanical digestion in the stomach. Your pancreas is going to neutralize that acid in the stomach, add some enzymes. Liver and gallbladder take care of the fats. Liver also takes care of toxins. You got your small intestine, where you get the last of the digestion, but really the big job of that is absorption of nutrients. Large intestine, absorption of water. Rectum and anus, that's your storage. Make it solid, then eliminate it. Okay? So really looking at structures and what they do. Need to know those. Then there's two big types of digestion. Okay, you've got mechanical digestion, which is physically breaking it apart, and chemical digestion. You need to understand the difference between chemical, the actual breaking up of the molecules, and mechanical, breaking up of the pieces. All right? There's also two purposes of the digestive system. Okay, it's not just digestion. Everybody gets that the digestive system does digestion. Duh. Okay, you need to understand what it means to digest. Okay, to break down and break down. But the reason we break it down is so that we can absorb it. We need these nutrients to get into our blood supply, our circulatory system. How do we do that? We absorb it after we digest it. Okay. So that's the first one. All right. When we look at the second video, there it is right there. So once again, quickly taking a look at the urinary system. All right. What are the main parts? You got four main parts of the urinary system: the kidneys, ureters, the bladder, the urethra. Why do we have this system? We need to maintain homeostasis. That's that normal state, our home state of the body. In particular, this is going to regulate the water balance of our body, right? So urinary tract is going to remove water that we don't need from the system, along with waste products that are in the liquid, the salts, the hormones, the urea, the urine, makes urine, okay? So I want you to have some idea of how this thing works. This is a nephron, it's the functional unit of a kidney. It is inside those kidney-shaped organs on your side. All right. These nephrons are surrounded by capillaries. The fluid part of the blood goes out of the capillaries and into the nephron. You filter it, and then it goes back into the capillaries and back through the rest of the body. The waste products stay in the tube. The good stuff goes back into your circulatory system. So the nephrons act as a filter. They catch the bad stuff and concentrate it in your bladder until you urinate. The process is called urination. Okay. Then we talked about three diseases or disorders of the urinary tract system. Okay. Bacterial infections, kidney stones, kidney disease. We talked about four disorders of the digestive system: diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, and vomiting. All right. So that is our two videos. First video, second video. Really, it is. We've got these big questions here. This tells you the main ideas for the test. You did some reading on this. I'm not going to go through the book and read for you, but You need to know the overall process for digestion. You know how we break down food, mechanical and chemical digestion. You need to know what gets digested, where our carbohydrates start in the mouth. We increase that surface area. The stomach is going to be very acidic. That kills the bacteria, starts to digest the meat. Pancreas in the small intestine. Pancreas is going to neutralize that acid after it comes out of the stomach. Small intestine, you finish digestion, you do absorption. Liver and gallbladder deal with the digestion of fats or emulsification. You don't use a fancy word. And then how do you eliminate it? Okay. Over here for the urinary system, you need to understand the main purpose is to clean the blood, maintain that homeostasis. How does it do that? The main organ is the kidney. The functional unit of the kidney are these nephrons, millions of nephrons in each kidney. Okay, why are we doing this? We drink water and we lose water. We need to maintain that water balance. We do that through hormones that are going to tell the kidney how much water to take out, how much water to leave in. And then we look at what happens when things don't work as they should. All right. There's a lot of vocabulary in this unit. Only 2 sections, but man, were there a lot of words in the book. Okay, these are important for understanding, so make sure you know them. And in order to do that, I made you a Quizlet. Okay, here it is, right here, grade 8, U4 vocabulary. You click on it, and boom, all the definitions for the test, that matching section of the test, the multiple choice for the test, are right here. Okay, if you haven't used Quizlet before, even though I've suggested it, you can play games. You like scatter, or and it scatters the words all around. You have to pair them. Okay, make everything disappear. Or you can do a race. As they go across the screen, you have to define them. Cool. Or you could do a little quiz of yourself. All right. Or you could have a test. Really cool. I don't think anybody should be missing any vocab. All right. This is straight memorization. They're words we've used multiple times. Okay. So make sure you know your vocab. The only other thing is the lab. The lab's about digestion. Okay. So there's probably going to be a big essay about digestion, a big essay about the urinary tract system, and then maybe one about the lab. Okay. So make sure you understand with that lab, big pieces of food don't get digested very easily because you only digest things at the surface. So that's why we chew our food, so we can increase the surface area and let those chemicals get to work. All right, we'll have a review class. I'll answer questions in class. This is for tonight's homework. Study for the test. You guys should be fine, just like all the others. All right, 10 matching, 20 multiple choice, answer 2 out of 3 essays. See ya tomorrow.